And the components, meaning the cabinets, the granite, the hardware, the plumbing fixtures, stuff like that. I noticed the opportunity in that. These guys were dropping off 30, 40 units worth of stuff one day a month and getting paid for it. Meanwhile, it was taking me and my crew 2 weeks to turn a unit. So I looked into that, long story short, found how I needed to get my customs ID and insurance and everything in place to start doing that. Started building my network, and then turned around and then started selling back to the people that I was actually working for, selling them the components and whatnot that we were already installing. And there was a transitional period there where we were actually installing, and I was supplying and installing. But then eventually transitioned on over into actually just supplying the components for them, and started bidding on others out amongst the nation, and ended up with, like I said, a little over 3,000 units under my belt. Throughout that time, I got to work really closely with the acquisition teams of these larger firms and syndicators and operators, and that enabled me to basically see the opportunity in syndication and in the multifamily syndication, and that's essentially how I got into syndicating.
Very exciting. Very exciting. So let's touch on, while you are making that first progress, that first step, your mindset, because the Mindful Multifamily show and the Mindful Multifamily Network we like to talk about mindset positivity. So let's talk about that mindset going into your first deal. Walk us through that process.
Well, I guess my mindset was always just kind of reaching higher. That's really where my mindset was trying to reach to the next level, always looking, always learning. So my mindset, the big thing for me was just really trying to take action, not holding anything back, not leaving anything on the field, all the different sayings that you've heard. My mindset was really just giving it all. I mean, I had nothing to lose. So, I mean, when you have nothing, there's I could always go back to swinging a hammer or installing cabinets, but I didn't want that. So I knew for me and for my family, the best thing for me to do, my mindset was to get it done, get in there and you have nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose by going and saying, hey, would you want to buy something or this or that, talking to somebody, asking that question.